Hey, this is Luke with another Android Guys podcast. I'm here with Scott.
Hey, I'm here with you.
How are you?
I'm doing no.
Eh.
I'm doing pretty well.
Awesome.
The weather's changing. It's
Yeah.
nice out. It's not unbearable anymore. It's not, even when it's warm, it's not humid and stupid.
Yeah.
I like this time of year.
Yeah, we have that window here in Ohio for all of maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, it looks like it's 60s here for a couple of weeks, and then we'll probably get that rain and be back to that cold, short day. And yeah.
But that's all right. We have lots of games to keep us busy.
Oh boy, you are terrible at this.
You like this segue? You have a game you're going to talk about today.
Yes, I do.
Yep.
Today, I'm going to tell you and the listeners about a game that I've been playing called State Railroad Train Game.
All right.
That's train game.
Mm-hmm.
It's by Ararat. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Ararat Games. This is a game that it's got a million plus installs on it.
Yeah.
And it has a 4-star rating as an average with almost 3,000 reviews.
That's pretty good.
So I was intrigued. I'm not sure where this popped up. I think it might have been an ad in an Instagram or something that scrolled up, and I thought, well, I'm usually will go in and click on those as they're presented to me and just add them to my wish list.
Sure.
And then occasionally I just go through and kind of grab one.
Yep.
So that's what this one was. The premise of this basically is you're connecting and creating like train stations across the country.
Okay.
And actually, to be fair, it's across North America.
Okay.
So you'll start in, say, Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and there may be like a couple of train stations that are red dots or blue dots. And then you will connect, you'll draw a line between the two, and it'll tell you how much money it's going to cost to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll see a little train kind of moving back and forth between them. And every so often it collects money. And then you'll connect the other two. And then you'll see it kind of picking up a little bit more money because you have more train.
More stops.
And then you can draw like a third line to connect all three.
Mm.
And then essentially you're going to connect as many train stations as you can across the states. And as you do that, you'll see your level of what your game level, but you'll also see how much money you're collecting.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a certain point, you'll start to unlock other states, and you can pick which state you want next to you. It'll kind of give you like 4 or 5 states around, and then you can unlock the one next to it with its own set of dots. And you put your stations, you start to connect them from state to state.
Gotcha.
You'll have different colors. So you'll have like a red line and a blue line. There's orange, green, and there's different colors that you may find like part of the country tends to have this red line that doesn't connect anywhere else. But then there's like this blue that kind of goes throughout most of the states. As you have your stations, you'll also be able to tap on each of those to level them up. That each station can be leveled up to I think 2 additional times for a total of 3.
Okay.
And you'll be able to see where they are, and you'll see how much it costs to do that. And you will basically, I think the end of the game is opening up the entire North America, all the states, all the provinces, countries, and you will just kind of have these trains. To me, I feel like there's an actual endpoint to this game.
Okay.
Because after that, I don't know that you will. You just
what else can you do then?
Right.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind of game that you look at and say, well, do I want to power up my stations? Do I put my money into building the stations up?
Sure.
Instead of expanding into a new state? Or do I you have the option across the bottom of your screen. You'll see basically experience, speed, and revenue, like money.
Yeah.
And you can put your money into improving that. So your speed can go from like a 1x train speed to a 1.05, 1.1. So you start to speed up the train lines.
Which means you're making money faster.
Right.
Sure.
Do I do that, or do I just keep leaning into raising the revenue?
Sure.
And let the train speed be it's whatever it is.
Right.
For me, I'm kind of a mix and match. Let both keep going up.
Sure.
Now, the first time you do that, you'll see that the money, it's basically nothing to increase that. And so it's like, oh, this makes sense. I might as well go to 1.1, 1.15, 1.2. And then you'll see like the rate at which you're collecting your money, and then you're spending it on your stations and expanding into states. And every time you do that, it gets more and more expensive as you progress into the game.
Sure.
Into new states. It's now, you're talking millions of dollars instead of thousands of dollars to move into here and do these build-ups. And so for me, I've just kind of slowly worked my way across the country.
Right.
And before I expand, really, I'm kind of increasing my train stations so that I can put more trains through them.
Sure.
And anytime I have the option to increase my revenue or my speed, I'll do that. The game itself is a top-down. You're looking basically at the country. You don't ever have any first-person things. You're kind of looking at, you're just connecting lines, basically. You can see where you can draw two connections, and you can see where you can't. It'll just tell you.
Gotcha. Okay.
I say all that, and then I tell you that at the bottom of the screen, when you have your options to increase your speed, increase your revenue, every so often you'll see a little thing pop up. Instead of the cost of doing that, it'll say watch an ad to do that. I've figured out that I will just do that now, and I will increase it, because now we're talking like billions of dollars, where I'm not making billions of dollars yet.
Sure.
But I'm at a point where I'm much further ahead in the terms of like my speed.
Yeah.
Versus if I would have been paying along the way. Because it's benefiting me to watch these ads.
Right.
Now, I don't mind doing that, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
This game is lousy with ads.
Oh.
So to me, it's just, what's one more ad?
Right.
However, I've kind of figured out maybe a way to game this game.
Okay.
You get an ad, and I was doing a stopwatch on my phone to check it.
Okay.
About every 60 seconds, you get an ad.
Okay.
Right in the middle of your gameplay.
Yep.
Just pops right up.
Just,
and you have to see it. You can watch it, and then some of them you can kind of like fast forward, and then skip the acts, and every 60 seconds. And then you'll also always have the little banner at the bottom of your screen. It takes up like that bottom, like 10% of your screen.
Yeah.
That's always present too.
Oh,
so there's ads everywhere. You have the option to unlock the game and just say, get rid of ads. $8.
Ugh.
$8.
Ugh. Wow.
Yeah. So I don't want to do that.
No.
And here's what I figured out. When the little things at the bottom say, would you like to increase your experience? Watch this ad. You can do it for free. I will watch those. And as I get close to my 1 minute, I'll just watch whichever one pops up.
Yeah.
And it takes the place of the one that comes every 60 seconds.
Ah.
So if I watch that and then I go back into the game,
you're getting something for free.
I'm getting something for free instead of just sitting through the ad.
Right.
And then deciding how do I want to play.
Ah.
It does not automatically give me that one every 60 seconds, even if I've just watched one.
Sure.
So I've kind of made I figured out about how long I can go around and do these things. And then when one pops up that says, want to increase your ticket revenue or whatever that number is, yes, I'll watch the ad, deal with that for a couple of seconds, and then I'm back into the game.
Okay.
So if you're the developer and there's a way to kind of fix that, don't. I like this little system that I kind of figured out.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's terrible for ads, man.
Yeah.
I kind of hate that about games that are. I had this a few weeks back with like a treasure hunt kind of game.
Yeah.
Where it was just you're forced to do it and you're forced to watch an ad at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
that to me is a little heavy-handed.
Yeah. It's one thing to have like a every 60-second ad. There's been a handful of games that I've played that do that. But to have a ticker at the bottom,
a persistent ad,
that's just, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So is the gameplay, let's say $8 is nothing. You know, is the gameplay good enough? If you were to pay to get rid of the ads, would it be a fun game to just play that?
Again, I think looking at the game in terms of like, I know there's probably an endpoint here, and at the rate I'm going, I don't think it's going to be very long before I've got all of the states filled in.
Sure.
And all of Canada and Mexico filled in, and all of the stations are powered up.
Wow.
And that'll be it. Like, I imagine, you know, a good 2 weeks of just kind of putting an hour here and there, you would probably be done with it.
Wow.
So I don't know if there's plans to expand it to other parts of the globe.
Yeah.
And do different things. But as it is, I like the challenge. I like the mental kind of like, okay, I've got to connect these. And there's a weird thing in me of like making sure I complete things.
Yeah.
I like to collect, and I like data, and I like that's just a thing for me.
Sure.
And this kind of scratches a little bit of an itch for me. So it's a puzzle kind of game that there's no risk of like running trains off the track. There's no injury, you don't have anything to kind of like, your progress isn't quote unquote derailed.
Right.
But it's the kind of game you can walk away from and come back in a couple of days and pick right back up.
Yep.
There's no idle aspect to it. So I would like something like that where even once a day or in the background, if you're going to run ads and do all this, hey, give me some credit.
Yeah.
Even at a slow pace.
Right.
For checking back in. So I gave the game a 3.1, so it's a little bit above average. Yeah. Kind of like 3s across the board. I gave it a 2 for ads and notifications. I was really thinking about giving it a 1.
Yeah.
In fact, let me do that, because the more I think about it, the more that makes sense to me. So it comes down to a 2.9.
Okay.
Replay value, I give it a 4. It's a little bit high replay, but at a certain point, we're done.
Sure.
And I think the game is just uninstalled.
Okay.
So it's State Railroad train game, and I mean, it's worth checking out.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks, Scott.
Yeah, man, no problem. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.